Alright, what is going on, YouTube? This is my Amazon tree boa. Scientific name is Corallus hortulanus. Amazing pattern. This is your normal phase, or your gray phase. They do come in a wide variety of morphs, and these guys are available captive bred, though you're going to have to look for them pretty hard. These guys, even in the wild, come in a lot of cool color morphs. They're more of an intermediate snake, just because they're fairly bitey. You know, as you can see here, he's definitely going to go for this hand. But it's all based on movement. So a slow waving movement compared to if I bring it up and under, he's alright. It's more of a feeding response than it is a defensive response. But if you don't like getting bit, probably not the right snake for you unless you just want to look at him, then a great snake. These guys are absolutely incredible. Their color patterns, right down to their strength, to watching them in the enclosure is awesome. They move around a lot more than your typical tree boas or tree pythons. The way they hunt is really cool. These guys are active hunters, which is awesome. A little bit about their caging or enclosure requirements. They do need a more vertical space. You can get away with just the basic tree python setup. I'm going to do a video on his enclosure probably tomorrow, just to show you what I like to do. I like to have a nice tall and wide setup for these guys. I love to have live plants. Live plants are going to help you with your humidity a ton. It's awesome the way live plants help that. They also help with fresh air and all that good stuff for these guys. They also enjoy hiding in them. These guys love hiding. Their temperature gradient. These guys do benefit from UV lighting. If you're going to use UV lighting, please measure the distance from the animal to the UV and use the proper rated distance. I run Mega Ray in almost all of my enclosures. That's a mercury vapor bulb. Mega Ray provides both heat and UV requirements. Amazing bulbs. They last a long time, though you should switch them out every 6 months if you're not able to test them and figure out if they're still outputting UVB. These guys can have a varied diet, which is really cool. Rodents, birds, frogs, lizards. If you're going to feed anything, please make sure that it is captive bred stuff and humanely sourced. If you feed from out of the wild, if you go outside and grab a frog and feed it to your snake, you are almost guaranteed to give this guy a parasite. Almost guaranteed. You're going to have to treat that. If you don't know how to treat that, your snake's probably going to die unless you take it to the vet, as they'll stop eating, the parasite will take over and do things that the parasite does. So please feed humanely sourced animals. It's also illegal in some states to go out and just grab stuff and feed it to your animals. Not a good idea. So please feed humanely. These guys are absolutely incredible. The way that they move, the way that they seek out those heat signatures is awesome. They're constantly flicking that tongue. Their eyes are incredible. They have pretty good vision. See, that phone's nice and warm, so he sees it. They're extremely incredible to watch, but you've really got to read these guys. A bite to the face from one of these guys is not fun. Trust me, I know. It's unenjoyable. They do have those specialized teeth up front, you know, on the top and the bottom. They've got bigger fangs for snatching things out of the air and snatching it off the ground. They're awesome. They're just not fun when they're sunk into you, even at this size. These guys get around to that 6 to 7 foot mark. Again, not quite as girthy, but still a fairly decent sized snake. This guy looks pretty small right here. I'm going to see if I can try to show you how big he actually is, because right here he doesn't look like a very big or long snake. But if we can get him, and you got to be careful as these guys are still fragile, like your Amazon tree boa, or yeah, your emerald tree boas and your green tree pythons. This is an Amazon tree boa. But you can see he's actually a fairly long snake. I mean, he's not a small snake by any means, and he's still just a juvenile. These guys do get more girthy than this, and they do get a fairly good size. I'm 6'4", for example, and he's a fairly large snake. An absolute incredible in species. if you do your research, I highly recommend keeping one of these guys. They're super fun, super enjoyable to keep, and they're just amazing